What's up, everybody? It's your boy Sammy Socialite, and I'm here to give you another episode of the Fantasy Formula, where I talk about the science behind winning your fantasy football leagues. So, as the football season approaches, it is draft season. So, you should have at least done a mock draft by now. If you haven't done a mock draft, get on ESPN, get on Yahoo, and do some mock drafts so you can see where players are ranked on the specific board of the program that you're using. But more importantly, watch those preseason games because, again, this is the time where you find those deeper players that are developing a good rapport with their team, and you can find gems from watching these preseason games. So today I'm actually here to give you my top 12 picks for fantasy this season. Now, this is what I believe an ideal 12 person first round draft would look like for my preference. I'm gonna explain everything too, but just keep in mind that these people in this order is the fantasy formula preference and not what ESPN says or not what NFL Network says or whatever. Literally. So thank y'all for coming to watch what Sammy Socialite tells you is the key in the formula to win, because again, I am a multi-time fantasy football champion, and I want to make sure you get some of this money this season. So I debated about whether I wanted to start with the first pick or reverse. So I'm gonna start with the first pick because that's how we do a fantasy draft. So my number one pick always is Tyreek Hill. He's a wide receiver, Miami. If you have the number one pick in the draft, get Tyreek Hill. Last year, Tyreek Hill had 1,800 yards and missed 3 football games, was on pace to break the receiving record. He gets touched multiple, he has multiple games where he has multiple touchdowns. And the focus of the Dolphins offense is Tyreek Hill. Of course, they have Jalen Waddle, and of course, they have running backs in Mostert and Devon Kane that can run, but Tyreek is the offense. So when in doubt, get Tyreek Hill with that number one pick. And he is my number one ranked fantasy player for the 2024 season. Number two is the person that everyone wants you to draft, number one. I can't get on this bandwagon. However, my number 2 overall pick this season coming up will be Christian McCaffrey, running back for San Francisco 49ers. And the reason why McCaffrey is the number 2 pick is because of his usage. The 49ers use McCaffrey all the time, and he's bound to usually get at least one touchdown a game, whether it's a receiving or a rushing. And honestly, that is a proven fact that I've done this research. I've watched the football games, and McCaffrey is good for a touchdown. Now, whether his injury coming into the season is completely healed, that is 100% up to you to decide if you want to draft him. But looking at just the overall things, the way they use McCaffrey, he's definitely a solid second pick. My third pick, this is my third overall fantasy player of 2024. And it is no other than wide receiver for the Detroit Lions, Amon-Ra St. Brown. I watched receiver, and Amon-Ra just showed me that he is one of them dog receivers that people talk about. He's going to want to go out and get his numbers. He's want to go score, and he wants his team to win. So what other type of player do you want on your fantasy team than a player that's going to ball out every chance he gets? Safe to say, you need a great wide receiver to win a fantasy league. You really need 2 or 3, but we'll get into that a little later into fantasy season. But Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to get targets from Goff. He's their wide receiver. They have running games, so it's not like he's always going to be double coverage because you have to watch out for Gibbs and Montgomery. And he's going to ball. He did a great job last year. He showed us that he could be a number 1 receiver, and it honestly boosted him to the first round. Now, Having him at 3 may be a little high for some people, but again, this is my opinion about who I would pick to win in the order I would pick them. Shout out to Amon Ra. I can't wait to see what you do this season. I know you're going to be on a few of my fantasy teams. Number 4, once again, another wide receiver, because again, wide receivers are very important to you securing a championship. That is a part of the fantasy formula. So at number 4, Jamar Chase, wide receiver from the Cincinnati Bengals. And of course, Jamar Chase is up here because him and Joe Burrow have clearly shown us that they have chemistry still from college. They play together at LSU. They've been on the same NFL team with the Bengals for their careers. And Chase is a dog too. Chase always is working on himself. He's always trying to be better. And he's going to go out there and ball out. They lost Tyler Boyd, which was the third receiver, and he was taking a few targets from him. But with Jess Higgins and Jamar Chase on that team and Burrow knowing how to sling the ball, you're in great hands if you pick Jamar Chase with your first pick. But again, I have him ranked number 4. Coming at number 5 is the second running back that I feel like will help you secure a win for your fantasy team, and that is Falcons running back Bijan Robinson. I am 100% confident that Bijan will not only get rushing yards and rushing touchdowns, he will be making plays in the passing game. If Kirk Cousins needs to check down, Bijan will catch it and bust off, make 5 yards, 25-30 for a touchdown. These are proven facts. Bijan's rookie season, he was drafted in the first round, and a lot of people didn't think he panned out like that due to the touchdown numbers, but we all know Arthur Smith was a clown, and that is another reason why Pittsburgh Steelers players, I would not get too happy for y'all, but again, we'll talk about that later. Bijan Robinson is the second running back off the board this year because of how he's going to be used. He will be used similar to McCaffrey, and there's no secret about that. Number 6, Justin Jefferson, wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings. Now, Justin Jefferson could have a case to be higher. However, with the recent news that J.J. McCarthy, his rookie quarterback from Michigan, is now going to be out for the whole season with a meniscus tear, it's kind of like Justin Jefferson 6 might be a little high, but we're gonna rock and roll with it because we've seen how Jefferson performs with lesser quarterbacks. So just roll the dice on Justin Jefferson because again, he has that dog in him. He's gonna want to score. He's going to want to be great. Number 7, I'm going to get a lot of flack for my 7 pick, but I believe that Jahmyr Gibbs did enough last season, and I saw him in college at Georgia Tech, first of all, and then Bama. I've seen Jahmyr Gibbs for a good amount of time, and Jahmyr Gibbs is a receiving threat out the backfield, and he runs hard like a dog, and he's going to score. So, my third running back this season is Jahmyr Gibbs for the Detroit Lions. I know that they have David Montgomery. David Montgomery should also be a pick that you get within the first 4 rounds of your draft. But Jahmyr Gibbs is going to probably be the one that's going to make the most magic happen for your fantasy team. Number 8, we have a wide receiver for the Philadelphia Eagles. And no, it is not Devontae Smith, but A.J. Brown. I'm hearing a lot of high praise for A.J. Brown coming into this season. Jalen Hurts has been working all offseason to try to work on their chemistry. And A.J. Brown has always been a beast. He wants the ball. He's going to complain if he doesn't get the ball. So if you don't have to deal with that as a fantasy owner. You just plug and play and hope he does what he does. And he's going to make sure Jalen gets him the ball. So I think that is a very safe pick at 8. Number 9. Number 9 is the running back that you probably were waiting to hear if you're a Jets fan. But coming in at number 9, we have Jets running back Breece Hall. And I am not high on Breece Hall or the Jets offense at all because, again, we saw that if they lose their quarterback, then their whole offense goes downhill and it sucks. So if you like Breece Hall, here's your chance. Get him in the first round. I'm not drafting Breece Hall in a single draft unless I have to. There's other running backs that I will put my faith in over Breece Hall. It is what it is. Say what you want. you can pick players that you like and don't like, and I don't like him, so I would not be picking him. Moving forward, number 10, I have DJ Moore, wide receiver for the Chicago Bears, because I've been watching Hard Knocks, and Caleb Williams really has he likes DJ Moore. DJ Moore was able to he had over 200 yards and 3 touchdowns in a game with Justin Fields. So you can only imagine the magic that's going to happen. Yes, they got Keenan Allen. Yes, they got Roma Dunze. Those are pieces to help their offense. It does not stop what DJ Moore is doing. DJ Moore is still going to get his 10 targets a game, and he's going to catch 8 out of the 10 targets and make over 100 yards and a touchdown. So go get DJ Moore at 10. So most drafts have 12 people, so I'm going to do 11 and 12. Now, my 11 pick would be Jonathan Taylor, running back for the Colts, simply because he didn't even get to play majority of last season, so he is very healthy, he's very refreshed, and he was a beast before, and he's going to be a beast now. So these running backs, honestly, I should have put Jonathan Taylor over Breece Hall, just because I'm more confident in Jonathan Taylor. But I'm going to let the research speak for itself, and maybe Breece might be a little better. But confident in getting Jonathan Taylor at number 11 for the Colts. And wrapping up this top 12 list for the first round of fantasy, players that you should pick to win, to make the formula to get that championship. I'm telling y'all right now, the last pick that you need to get in your draft is Saquon Barkley in the first round. Saquon went to a new team. He is now on the Philadelphia Eagles, where he will ball out. They run the ball. DeAndre Swift had a breakout season last year with them, and Saquon is a much sturdier, much bigger, better running back. I am 100% confident Saquon will help you get a championship this year. He's with a new team with the Eagles. They love to run. They do triple option in the red zone. Like, it's just going to be a beautiful season for Saquon, and I'm happy to see his reemergence on the way. So, with that being said, stay tuned to the Fantasy Formula for more great content. I'm going to go into detail the next time on some sleeper picks that you should pick, and also players that you should not pick and players that you should pick. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. So important on the share, because if you are watching my stuff and you know people that play fantasy football, please send them this. They need this advice to get these championships. Once again, Sammy Socialite with the Fantasy Formula, where I give you the science of winning. And I will talk to y'all next time. Adios.